Aimee Tortorich. I'm a student at Louisiana Culinary Institute in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Today I will be demonstrating how to make a seared scallop dish with roasted corn puree and steamed broccoli. Corn, broccoli, and scallops provide a variety of nutrients that are beneficial to your health, which makes this dish a great way to do the two. Today our ingredients include 1 pound large sea scallops, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, 2 to 3 cups of sweet corn, hopefully nice and fresh from your local farmer's market, 1 to 2 cloves of garlic minced, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of low-fat plain yogurt, a 1/2 cup of roasted red peppers chopped, a 1/4 cup of fresh herbs, a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and 2 to 3 cups of broccoli florets. First, I will start out by bringing a large pot of water to a boil. Next, I will drop in the corn for a few minutes. Now, we're not going to let this cook too long, just for a few minutes to make it nice and tender, because we're going to puree it afterwards. Once the corn is cool, we will cut the corn off the kernel and set aside. Once you have all the kernels cut, you can use the back of your knife to run down the corn cob, and you get all that corn milk. And we're going to be adding that to the puree, which will give it a silky texture. In a blender, we're going to add our corn, and here's some of that good flavorful juice from the corn. Next, we're going to add the smoked paprika, the minced garlic, a pinch of red pepper, our non-fat yogurt, our roasted red bell peppers, and a pinch of salt and pepper. Now we're going to puree this until it's nice and smooth. So the puree is a little too thick, so I'm going to add some water to thin it out. Okay, so now this is going to require a little bit of stirring just to get that water at the bottom. And we're going to turn it back on. Now there we go. One note about this puree is that you can use carrots, cauliflower, or parsnips for a variation of flavor. Okay, that's perfect. Now we're going to transfer it to a saucepan and keep it warm. Next, we're going to prepare our broccoli. It's really high in vitamin C. One thing that you want to look for is yellowing on the florets, and make sure that this stalk is nice and firm. Since we're steaming this broccoli, I'm going to cut off the florets. You just take them about 1 inch from the actual floret. These florets are going to be so much healthier than using frozen broccoli florets. Next, we're going to add these broccoli florets to the steamer. And we're going to steam these for about 5 minutes. So now we're going to move on to our scallops. The most important thing about scallops is to remove this adductor muscle, which connects the scallop to the shell. If you don't remove this, then you get this chewy texture. Next, we're going to season our scallops with a little salt and pepper. And we're going to add the oil. This is coconut oil, which is a healthy alternative because it's low in saturated fat. We're going to sear about 3 scallops per order. Just seasoning these. Get one more. You want to make sure that your pan is nice and smoky because this sear is going to be really hot. And you also want to make sure your heat is on medium, high to high. Now these are sea scallops, but if you want, you can buy the bay scallops, which are a smaller version of these guys. So the most important thing about scallops is to not overcook them. You want to cook them about 2 minutes per side until they're opaque. So now we're letting that caramelization get on the bottom of the scallops. It's really important to not touch them during this process until they're ready to be flipped. Otherwise, you're compromising the integrity of the scallop. And now we're ready to flip the scallops. You see that nice brown color? That's what you want. And you want to go about 2 minutes on the bottom side. And once they've turned opaque, it's now time to take them out of the pan and put them on a plate. Now that the scallops are seared, the broccoli is ready to be taken out the steamer. We're going to take the broccoli out. Just enough for plating. And then we're going to season it with a little salt and pepper. You want to make sure that your broccoli is not overcooked. We want that bright green color. So now we're ready to plate. The first step in plating is we're going to take some of this warm puree. We're just going to put it down right on the plate. A little bit more. Now we're going to transfer our scallops right on top of the puree. We're just going to add a piece of broccoli on each side. And for a finishing touch, we're just going to take a little bit of parsley right on top. And that's it. And there you have it. That's how we prepared the seared scallops with the smoky corn puree and the steamed broccoli. I'm Aimee Tortorich, and that's how you do the two.